WWE NXT begins a new era this evening, coming off of WWE NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver last week with their new permanent home on Tuesday nights. Thank you for tuning in and watching my live reactions play live right here on YouTube. As always, I'm your host, Encyclopedia Sports, Cool and Luke 96. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below with that thumbs up button. Share hashtag WWE, hashtag WWE NXT. Chat questions and comments, super chats, super stickers. Always greatly appreciated as well. Unlike last night with Chicago PD or NCIS or Law and Order, as it sometimes is, we got Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and San Andreas taking us to the top of the hour, 8 o'clock Eastern Time here tonight for the debut of WWE NXT this Tuesday night, as they're no longer on Wednesdays head-to-head with AEW Dynamite. However, I will have live reactions play of AEW Dynamite also tomorrow night, so hopefully you'll tune back in for those as well. Just be sure to like, follow, and subscribe as always on social media. Is the easiest way to stay up to date. Links in the description below. So tonight on WWE NXT, we will hear from the new NXT and NXT Women's Champions in Karrion Kross and Raquel Gonzalez. Frankie Monet will also make her debut. Santos Escobar with a Cruiserweight Championship Open Challenge. A few tag team matches as well. First, we'll have the NXT Tag Team Championships on the line as MSK, after they defeated the tag teams of Grizzled Young Veterans and Legado del Fantasma last week during TakeOver Stand and Deliver. They will defend their newly won tag titles this evening against Killian Dane and Drake Maverick. We'll also have a grudge match with Leon Ruff and Isaiah Swerve Scott. Of course, this goes back to the Battle Royal, and then the Gauntlet Eliminator match to determine the new number one contender for Johnny Gargano's NXT North American Championship. Bronson Reed won that, challenged, lost. However, also tonight, as mentioned, a few tag team matches. We have a 8-person mixed tag team match on NXT this evening, as it'll be Bronson Reed and Dexter Lumis teaming with the NXT Women's Tag Team Champions Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart, as they'll take on The Way, of course, Johnny Gargano, who is your NXT North American Champion, with Austin Theory, and then Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell, who lost to Ember and Shotzi last week as well at TakeOver Stand and Deliver. And then we'll see some exclusive footage from after the unsanctioned matchup in which Kyle O'Reilly defeated Adam Cole Bebe last week as well during TakeOver Stand and Deliver. It was a 2-night event. WrestleMania was also a 2-night event this past weekend as well. WrestleMania weekend continues here now into the middle of next week with WWE NXT off of the heels of the Raw after Mania last night, NXT tonight, AEW tomorrow night, and Friday Night SmackDown on Friday. I'll also have live reactions play to both of those shows as mentioned earlier, and also just seconds ago. So hopeful for more viewers then. Hopefully you'll tune in and watch. Thank you for tuning in right now and watching my WWE NXT live reactions play a watch along stream, if you will. WWE NXT live watch along reactions, as the title says. So thank you for tuning in and watching. And now mere minutes away from the start of WWE NXT on the USA Network. So we're going to sit back, relax, and see what NXT has to offer tonight, as I just ran through everything that they have currently advertised. However, we could see some add-ins, some fillers, with some backstage segments and promos as well, but only time's going to tell over the next few hours or so. But be sure to hit that red subscribe button, little notification bell next to it as well. If you're a new viewer, new subscriber, thank you. And once more, thank you for tuning in and watching WWE NXT, about to begin on the USA Network. Yes, she is. As far as we know, she is. Yeah, Taya Valkyrie getting rebranded as Frankie Monet with Prince the Pomeranian that's been running around the Orlando area at the WWPC, the Capital Wrestling Center now, as they're calling it. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they have her do. Of course, if it is her, which we know it is, but because she signed with Eli Drake 2 months ago, entering the WWE. Of course, Eli Drake has been rebranded as LA Knight, which is a little unfortunate if you ask myself, but it is what it is. And then now Taya coming in as Frankie Monet. I'm sure she's going to have a match tonight. Who it's against, I don't know. Probably going to be some jobber. She'll pick up the win. They should push her. However, at the same point in time, if they're going to run a storyline with what happened at least last night on Raw, that over the course of time, eventually, yes, I still think either The Miz or John Morrison are going to turn on one another, and Maurice is now back in the fold, and like I said, potentially a mixed tag match there with The Miz and Maurice versus John Morrison, and then they'd bring up Frankie Monet. But we'll see. I mean, that's just a thought, maybe a little fantasy booking there, if you will, but it would make sense. I mean, because who else are they going to put with John Morrison? Like, if they would put anybody else with John Morrison in that instance, it wouldn't make any sense at all. So she could be on the fast track, but it seems like for the time being, you know, yeah, it's her debuting tonight on NXT, and we'll see what they do with her, but for the time being, I'll leave it at that. So, like I said, I would assume they're going to have her face off against somebody that nobody knows. And not a quick match, but semi-quick, and she'll pick up the win, and, you know, voila, they'll potentially have her challenge Raquel Gonzalez for the NXT Women's Championship at some point in time, too, because, you know, it's a new era for NXT. A lot of new champions. Everybody except Gargano, basically, who's still NXT North American champion. Karrion Kross, Doomsday, arrived last week for Finn Balor. Kross is new NXT champion once again. Raquel Gonzalez, your new NXT Women's champion. New tag champs as well. And new Cruiserweight champion. And we'll have a Cruiserweight Championship Open Challenge with Santos Escobar. So now, together forever, WWE, as they changed up their opening video package. Then now together forever WWE, or then now together WWE forever, however you want to put it. NXT chants. And here comes the new NXT champion with Scarlett by his side. Killer Karrion Kross, who is now a two-time NXT champion. Of course, he won it back against Keith Lee SummerSlam weekend TakeOver 30. Suffered an injury, separated shoulder in that match. Had to take some time off. Came back. They built him back up into what he was supposed to be then. And he just defeated Finn Balor at TakeOver Stand and Deliver, giving Balor only a second loss at that TakeOver event in his NXT career to recapture that gold. So now it is time to fall and pray to the new NXT champion. TikTok, he's probably going to be champion for quite a while, I would have to assume, as the end is in fact here. His entrance, one of the best in NXT, alongside Finn Balor's Demon entrance. This is all time, of course, but currently right now, and potentially all time too, Kross's entrance up there with the Fiend Bray Wyatt, The Undertaker. You know, he's got that sinister side to him. So, hashtag WWE NXT when you share on social media. And once again, thank you for tuning in and watching. So he's in the ring, pounding his chest. Karrion Kross, your new NXT champion. And NXT now on Tuesday nights. I'm sure he's going to cut a promo and then get interrupted by somebody. They didn't change up the NXT announce team by any means. As far as we know, they didn't as of yet. As we've only heard Vic Joseph, it's Vic Joseph, Bad News Wade Barrett, and Beth Phoenix. But there are some fans in the Capitol Wrestling Center in Orlando. I told you. Yes, he did. Time always comes. Tick-tock, Finn Balor. You're no longer champion. Karrion Kross is. You deserve a chance. Only a matter of time. Damn right, he does deserve it. But, I mean, just say he didn't get hurt and he was champion from, August until just this past weekend, in which Balor, held down the fort until they had Kross defeat him for it once again. Would Kross be up on the main roster right now? I mean, it's a possibility. I don't know if they'd, want to keep him in NXT any longer or not than just the 8-10 months that he would have been in the company. As a champion, at least. Because with actual live fans for a takeover event, you guys are rowdy tonight. He talks about the fans. At least for winning a championship, there were no fans when he won it before. Now there are, and he's been in the company now for a little over a year. So, I mean, time really isn't anything right now. It hasn't been. I mean, it's just Groundhog Day over and over again. And we're getting back to normal, but still, it's not the normal we once knew. And I've talked about that before, so I'll digress. But Kross cutting promo to open up NXT. Kelly Gonzalez is probably going to be the 9 o'clock hour, as all the other matches and segments throughout the night. Total of 8 segments for a 2-hour show, so 3, 4, maybe 5 an hour. Just depends on how they want to time it, how they want it to go, where they're going to put everything. But I mean, that's a full card. That's a full show. So I know I said very well they could add some fillers or whatever they decide to do, okay, but I don't see that happening because what they've advertised is stacked the whole way to the top. Nobody is going to outgrind Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross is starving. His stomach is growling. He's hungry for a challenger. You want this? You step right up and I'll give it to you. So who's going to answer the call for Karrion Kross's NXT title? Maybe somebody going to return? Maybe Balor get a rematch just like Drew McIntyre is now against Bobby Lashley again? Kross saying he's going to go through everyone NXT has to offer until there's nobody left. So if they go that route and then they bring somebody big in, okay, that person would be that person at that point in time. Then maybe it's Samoa Joe. Maybe Joe's going back down to NXT. Tick-tock chants, and his music hits. And that seems to be it. Nobody's going to answer the call as of yet. Vic Joseph with a good line right there. With Terror Tuesday. NXT changing up their graphics a little bit as well for a new, fresh start. It is still Vic Joseph, Bad News Wade Barrett, and Beth Phoenix on commentary. And they're saying TakeOver Stand and Deliver was the biggest takeover in TakeOver history. Of course, it was 2 nights. 6 matches on Wednesday, 6 matches on Thursday. But then WrestleMania followed on Saturday and Sunday this past weekend, as we now see a TakeOver Stand and Deliver and WrestleMania 37 recap from the 4 nights of action. as TakeOver Stand and Deliver crowned new NXT Tag Team Champions in MSK, the Rascals. Walter defeated Tommaso Ciampa and retained his NXT United Kingdom title. The Gauntlet Eliminator match on night one, in which Bronson Reed won. And then he challenged Johnny Gargano the next night. Gargano, though, your winner and still NXT North American champion. Nita Strauss performed the national anthem, and then Poppy actually performed as well. Io Shirai dropped the NXT Women's Championship as Raquel Gonzalez defeated her. Io potentially up to the main roster now with Asuka. I'm thinking as a tag team to challenge Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler for those WWE Women's Tag Team titles. It was a Cruiserweight Championship ladder match with Santos Escobar and Jordan Devlin. And Escobar, now your undisputed NXT Cruiserweight Champion. Pete Dunne, unfortunately, defeated Kushida. Discussed what my opinion is with Kushida at the moment. They need to figure out what the hell they're going to do with them, because if you're not going to do anything, well, you might as well part ways and have him go elsewhere. Still NXT Women's Tag Team Champions, Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart. Now night two, Gargano and Bronson Reed. Gargano still NXT North American Champion. A potential turn for Austin Theory to exit the way and challenge Gargano for that NXT North American title. Maybe we'll see Cross, your new NXT champion, as well, defeating the Prince Finn Balor. It was unsanctioned with Adam Cole, Bebe, and Kyle O'Reilly. Of course, the Undisputed Era is no more. That was a damn good match. The main event of night two, and O'Reilly, your winner there. So some new champions. A new era to begin NXT on Tuesday nights here this evening. And tonight we'll hear from the new NXT Women's Champion and Raquel Gonzalez. NXT sort of got a new logo as well. I mean, it's a typical black and yellow NXT logo, but it's got a what looks to be a big silver X behind it with some sort of bird in the middle. If I'm not mistaken, we'll have exclusive footage from that unsanctioned match with Cole and O'Reilly as well, still to come later on tonight. So I'm actually digging that new NXT logo that they're using for the graphics. But now in the ring, Alicia Taylor as your ring announcer, gonna introduce MSK, as it looks like it'll be MSK against Killian Dane and Drake Maverick coming up next in the NXT Tag Team Championship match on WWE NXT this evening. NXT going hard and heavy with the new graphics tonight. They're changing everything up. Of course, as mentioned, fans in the stands. They're not a few rows deep, it doesn't seem like, for NXT TV compared to the TakeOver last week, but still good to see the fans back. I mean, AEW and NXT have had fans. The main roster for the WWE brought back 25,000 plus each night for Mania this past weekend. And now we're back to the normal for what NXT's been doing for friends and family fans, if you will. Ringside behind that caged plexiglass barricade that they have running. It'll be an NXT Tag Team Championship match up next with MSK against Killian Dane and Drake Maverick after they defeated Breezango, Captain Hook, and Jack Sparrow last week on the kickoff pre-show for one of the two nights of TakeOver Stand and Deliver. And then they went into the future. Breezango did. Of course, Tyler Breeze and Breezango. And transformed into Titus O'Neil and Hulk Hogan and hosted WrestleMania as the Pirates they were, with Captain Hook and Jack Sparrow as well. So we're going to have to search for that new NXT logo, if it's even out on the good old internet yet. Assume it is, but thinking about changing the thumbnail to this video because with a new fresh start for NXT, well, they're running out some new logos. I might as well change up the thumbnail logo for this live watch along reaction stream as well. So, of course, I think I'll do that after tonight, but we'll get to it when we get to it. Just a thought. Yeah, good to see the fans back, but they still got the LED boards, the Trons, ringside as well to give the whole arena a Titantron feel to it with the graphics that they'll throw on those. Now, Ric Flair must be hurting for some money. He's giving us a car shield commercial. So, yeah. The Nature Boy, hey, limousine riding, jet flying, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, son of a gun. I mean, car shield is right up his alley, I suppose, for a few of those. But, yeah, they had Eli Drake, LA Knight, and the other one that I saw this other day. But Flair's what looks to be new spokesperson for the WWE, at least, for Car Shield. So if you're just not tuning in, of course, we're at a commercial break in between the opening segment with Karrion Kross kicking off NXT as your new NXT champion. They fill us in on what is still to come tonight on NXT, as well as we'll see some exclusive footage from the unsanctioned match, post-match actually from last week, with Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly. Also hear from the new NXT Women's Champion and Raquel Gonzalez. But coming up next is MSK just got introduced. It'll be MSK against Killian Dane and Drake Maverick. They're, of course, going to retain and win this match, but we'll see what they have planned for the tag team division for NXT. As the women's tag team division, along with the whole entire women's division in the WWE, I mean, the NXT women's division is a little bit better, yes. AEW needs to get a move on Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa as your top two women there. We'll discuss AEW tomorrow night, but the WWE as a whole in general, at least for the main roster, they need to figure out the women's division and the women's tag team division, and then the Raw and SmackDown tag team division, and then the whole entire tag team division in NXT as well to an extent. But, I mean, you got new tag team champions now, too, so we'll see what gives. Something's got to, but, I mean, the problem is, especially for the women in the women's tag team division, they have titles, but they don't have women's tag teams, okay? I don't think that's hard to see at all, but Britt has her own opinion, so I'll leave it at that for the time being. So, yeah. MSK is an actual tag team here. Dane and Maverick, Rockstar Spud, just thrown together. Feel bad for Nikki Cross. We haven't seen her in God knows how long. Of course, she's in a relationship with Killian Dane. Her former tag team partner, Alexa Bliss, moving on from the Fiend Bray Wyatt, it seems like. But she's sort of going to be the same character as she's been as of late and move into another singles run, hopefully. But we'll discuss more main roster as we did last night on Friday with SmackDown as well, so be sure to tune back in for that live reaction stream, and also tomorrow night for AEW Dynamite. But tonight, WWE NXT bell rings, match underway. It's MSK against Killian Dane and Drake Maverick in the NXT Tag Team Championship match. Maverick with a cover kick out too by MSK, of course, formerly known as the Rascals, 2/3 of them in NXT. Of course, coming over from TNA Impact Wrestling, tag made. And to me, what the hell does MSK even stand for? And as I've said, there's a botch by Maverick. But like I've said, MSK as your new tag team champions, why not have MGK, Machine Gun Kelly, come in and be their damn manager, for God's sakes? Like, I don't get where the hell the name came into play by any means. of course, with The Undertaker and his friends from back in the day, they had the Bone Street Crew. Maybe MSK means Mean Street Crew with the K in crew. Of course, they've had, you know, uh, a few other. What the hell's going on here? Okay, tag made. This match is not off to a good start by any means. And a drop kick into the corner. And MSK gonna pick up a cover here. 1, 2, kick out by Rockstar Spud, of course, Drake Maverick. But, okay, we'll have Raquel Gonzalez on NXT still to come, as well as they show us down in the bottom corner. But they've had, you know, whether they're tag teams or singles competitors, you know, have a name that's, whether or not it's a meaningful purpose in a mean way, like, you know, Mean Street Posse or whoever, you know, maybe that's the direction they're going. But I mean, just 3 letters for a tag team, like, I get they're rebranding a lot of new incoming talent, MSK included, with, you know, Eli Drake now is LA Knight and Taya Valkyrie is so, you know, far we think, and we'll find out here within the next hour and a half or so, as Frankie Monet. They're actually going to fade to black, take another commercial break with Killian Dane, Drake Maverick getting back into control ringside. A nice crossbody there by Dane to MSK. So tag team titles on the line. MSK going to win, retain, no doubt about it. But hopefully they'll turn this match around. Not off to a good start, as mentioned. A few botches already off the bat in my eyes, but you know, the night's still young. So commercial break, come back from that, and then they'll wrap it up. We'll get into, I would assume, a women's segment, maybe Taya's debut as Frankie Monet, and then you save Raquel for 9, as mentioned, and then, I mean, maybe even a video package on something, or a backstage interview promo from somebody, you know, with this new era of NXT, as future's bright, as I always like to say. But then, you know, we're going to get footage from Cole and O'Reilly as well, so when they're going to play that, I don't know. I'm sure we're going to hear, well, hell, actually, we might get the open challenge from Santos Escobar. But well, when you have as many new champions as they have, they're going to have to go back to back to back in some instances for, you know, having a championship segment, whether or not the titles are actually being defended, or whoever just won the title talked about it with Karrion Kross, and we'll still get there from Gonzalez. But we'll see what happens for NXT. I mean, it's not that bad of a show as of yet. Raw was good last night to an extent. It sort of, you know, got dull and stale towards the middle part of it, and then, you know, it drug on until the end. But as I said last night for Monday Night Raw, for, you know, regular Monday Night Raw, it was an average good show. But for the Raw after Mania, it wasn't anything spectacular. You only had a few returns, and, you know, they got, you know, weeks and months to build, though, to WrestleMania Backlash, and then the, you know, pay-per-views to follow there, and weeks to months to fill with no fans once again either. So we'll see what it gives there. But I even said too, the Raws after Mania the past few years really haven't been, you know, anything special either. So it is what it is. They're still going to do what they want. So we'll see what Raw does next week. NXT finishes up with tonight, and then, you know, SmackDown on Friday as always. But, NXT's in a good spot now, I think, with them being by themselves on Tuesday nights permanently now moving forward, not on Wednesday nights head-to-head with AEW Dynamite, because it seems to me all they're worried about is the goddamn ratings anyway, and the so-called war that us fans termed it, they lost that. They won it a few times, the past year and a half since October of 19, but AEW now should have no problem with continuing to build their brand now as well with the moves, and it's better for all, I think, because, and we come back from commercial break in the meantime too, back in the ring, MSK against Killian Dane and Drake Maverick for the NXT Tag Team titles, but NXT by itself, AEW by itself, you don't have to watch both at the same time as I have, and I believe a lot of other people have as well, and go back and forth and what the hell's going on here, what the hell's going on there. You can actually sit down and watch one show at a time for 2-3 hours and really dive deep into what they are building towards. So both WWE and AEW moving forward. Impact's on Thursday nights now. Ring of Honor for myself in my area, late Saturday night, early Sunday morning. New Japan really not on TV, but other wrestling promotions that are actually on TV, you have wrestling still on every night of the week when there's pay-per-views. And when there's not pay-per-views, you still have Monday night, Tuesday night, as it was, still Tuesday night. Wednesday night's not a double. Thursdays back to wrestling, Friday still, and then, Saturdays for pay-per-views as well when there's pay-per-views. But it's a single in the middle of the week rather than double, just depending on, of course, what it is. But tag may kick out at 2, so the wrestling's still on. It's just not all bunched up, and now you can, as mentioned, sit down and enjoy from start to finish, as hopefully you did before, but now even more, I guess you could say. Yeah. So Dane with a small power slam there, as he actually ended up sitting down on one half of MSK, and then more of a DDT tombstone, if you will, to the other, and then Maverick comes in, hits DDT as well. I don't even know who's legal for either of these teams. It seems like it's Killian Dane, as Maverick back is on the ring apron. Big power bomb. Alright. And then Killian Dane gonna pick up Drake Maverick and powerbomb him onto MSK, but MSK rolls out of the way, so just did a little too much harm there to themselves rather than the other tag team, their opponent in this match. And then I don't know if you want to call that a neck breaker, another DDT or not. It didn't look like it connected the whole way, but MSK now back in full control. Quick roll up by Spud, 1-2, kick out at 2.5. I was going to say, if they have them win the tag team titles right now, that's a little crazy. Big right hand. Of course, the WWE Thunderdome audience is live on NXT tonight as well, virtually. MSK with their finisher, taking out Dane ringside after a maneuver on Spud in the middle of the ring, cover 1, 2, 3, and MSK, your winners, still your NXT Tag Team Champions, defeating Killian Dane and Drake Maverick tonight on WWE NXT. I'm sure we're going to see a replay of the finish, so we'll see what happens here. But, in the end, MSK still victorious, still champions. And they saved Killian Dane with the finish. He didn't take the pin. And now that I get a clearer look at the new NXT logo, yeah, sort of like, I'd say, bird wings, but then there's like a skull in the middle. So it seems to me they're moving forward with the skull look in the NXT logos moving forward, but giving it like a darker feel to the already dark NXT. It's that small venue type of show that, yeah, and we do see some replays. So yeah, MSK is still your tag team champions. Somebody gonna come out and attack them from behind as they celebrate on the entrance ramp. Now they're gonna walk off into the back. However, there is Alexander Wolf of Imperium, and him and Dane have history. But now here comes the rest of Imperium to attack Killian Dane. So is Walter going to come out? Are they giving Killian Dane to Walter for the NXT UK title? I wouldn't mind that. I mean, it makes sense. Or is Wolf the new leader of Imperium? Now they're going to pose in the middle of the ring with Killian Dane knocked out. Fabian Eichner, Marcel Bartel, and Alexander Wolf with Walter, your United Kingdom champion, who's not in the ring. I don't even know if he's there. But they attacked Killian Dane and stand tall after they lose to MSK on NXT. Or Alexander Wolf's, well, alright. Bartel and Eichner just looked at each other with Wolf leading the way, like something off, like is he acting weird? Like are they teasing an Imperium breakup? Now we got NXT's Tony Khan and Robert Stone walking backstage from earlier today. Of course, the Robert Stone brand. And then Mercedes Martinez walks up. This is earlier today. And now she's attacking whoever the hell that bitch is. And I don't know who the hell that is either.
You want to step up to me? Oh no, I don't want to step up to you. I want to step on you.
No, I don't want to step up to you. I want to step on you.
Tonight.
All right, Mercedes Martinez is going to be in action. Up next, though, exclusive footage after the unsanctioned match with Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly, with them both being stretchered out, it looks like. And we're going to, yeah, in the meantime, see if we can find this new NXT logo.
COVID-19
It does actually look pretty sick.
The way we work, the way we play, and the way we live. Right now, COVID-19 vaccines are available to millions of Americans, and soon they'll be available for everyone.
Let's get back to our lives and get vaccinated.
Roll up your sleeve and do your part for the ones you love.
This is our shot.
And we can do this together.
12 single men, 12 single women. This is crazy. 4 couples. Living games. On this island, you have no control. Straight.
Can I just jump in the ocean and swim away? Okay.
Ocean. Temptation Island. New episode. Tonight at 10 on USA. Are you researching Little Caesar's famous? Girl happens really go right to the edge? Is that not going to start a business? We saw for the ball for? We're not Big Pizza, we're Little Caesars. Yes, we're all bestest. 2 cups are just $6.49. Pizza. Applebee's Irresistibles are back. Dig in for just $8.99. Now that's even good in the neighborhood.
Are you ready to join the doers? Those who do more with less asthma. Thanks to Dupixent, the add-on treatment for specific types of moderate to severe asthma. Dupixent isn't for sudden breathing problems. It can improve lung function for better breathing in as little as 2 weeks and help prevent severe asthma attacks. It's not a steroid, but can help reduce or eliminate oral steroids. Dupixent can cause serious allergic reactions, including anaphylaxis. Get help right away if you have rash, shortness of breath, chest pain, tingling, or numbness in your limbs. Tell your doctor if you have a parasitic infection. And don't change or stop your asthma treatments, including steroids, without talking to your doctor. Do more with less asthma. Talk to your asthma specialist about Dupixent. If your financial situation has changed, we may be able to help.
This ain't just stuffed crust. This is Papa John's crust. Stuffed.
How do you top the perfect cup of Dunkin' cold brew? With the perfect cup of sweet cold foam. Sip into a smooth Dunkin' chocolate stout cold brew topped with sweet cold foam. Order ahead on the app. America runs on Dunkin'.
It's Kofi Kingston. He never touches the ground when he leaves the ring. No, bang, that's on it. Thanks for the assist.
Get 4 lines for $100 a month.
And we're back. It's time to see which chew provides the longest-lasting flea and tick protection.
Rebecca's the big winner. 12 weeks of powerful protection, nearly 3 times longer than any other chew.
Bravo, Rebecca. Bravo.
Make your move with the new DQ Spring Treat Collection. With new chip shakes, rich chocolate hazelnut, the creamy dreamsicle dipped cone, or the bold and bright tropical lemonade.
Yeah, the new NXT logo, it's a big silver X, and then like bird wings with some type of, I don't know what the hell that would be. As they went on the air, somebody arrived at the Capitol Wrestling Center. Now we'll have footage from Cole and O'Reilly after their unsanctioned match last week.
You see these two men fighting a locker room, fighting their training facility. They tried to run each other down with their vehicles. They didn't arrest it. I think the better question is, what are they not willing to do to each other?
And here we go. And right off the bat, there goes Cole O'Reilly.
So they show all the highlights that were in the video package that hyped up the match. Now they're showing highlights from the match, and then we'll get the exclusive footage from after the match. This match was damn good, and it was a good thing that they did have Kyle O'Reilly end up picking up the win, because as I said then, he needed it in my eyes more than Adam Cole did, you know, because Cole's established, you know, Adam Cole's Adam Cole. Kyle O'Reilly's just been the number 2 behind Cole in the Undisputed Era with Fish and Strong as well. But Roddy might be going on to do his own little thing again, which I wouldn't mind, because he was never really a part of the original Undisputed Era anyway. He was only inserted in the fold because Bobby Fish was injured. And they kept it as it was, and it was a 4-man group then. So this should, as the system was shocked, push Kyle O'Reilly to new heights. Alright, now here's the exclusive footage. This is Adam Cole being taken out on a stretcher. Ambulance arriving, and then O'Reilly collapsing backstage. And they get an ambulance for him as well. And course, both in wrestling terms, taken to the hospital, which of course is just, well, there is footage of them going into some building. And then Cole's yelling at him while he's on the stretcher, like, "You're dead. I'm gonna finish you, you son of a bitch." And then William Regal walking behind him. But that's, you know, the typical, hey, we're going to drive around the parking lot in the ambulance and make it look like, you know, we're going to the hospital because we're injured. Now here comes Mercedes Martinez. So this is an add-in match. Mercedes Martinez in a singles match on NXT. They, you know, could and probably should push her to Raquel Gonzalez. Jessie Kama, whoever the hell she is, of the Robert Stone brand. Of course, Robert Stone, NXT's Tony Khan. But Martinez is going to win this. There's no doubt about it. And maybe that's when Taya comes out and attacks her, and then they start a feud with those two, maybe. Of course, the debut of Frankie Monet. Or maybe does she join the Robert Stone brand when she debuts? We'll see. No, but this NXT logo, this new NXT logo, as mentioned, it's just a big silver X. And then, of course, in the middle, there's the black and yellow NXT logo that we've, you know, seen for years now. But behind that, it's given me vibes of... I'm trying to think of the show. It's on USA Network. It's on, actually, after NXT, I do believe. Or it was on after NXT last week, so no, not Temptation Island. We're going to scroll in the guide to tomorrow, because this is the TV show I'm thinking of, that with the bottom part of the new logo, like, it has a clock, it looks like. Yeah, Queen of the South for some reason. Just seeing those commercials. Like, vintage clocks, vintage clock design, you know, just a vintage design at the bottom of the new NXT logo with, like, eagle's wings up top behind this NXT logo, and then some sort of insect head, whether it's an ant or a spider or a caterpillar for that matter, I don't know. But then there's a skull, a gold skull, it looks like, in between that. So that's the new NXT logo. But I haven't found a good enough picture that would be one, big enough, or two, that looks good enough to change the thumbnail picture here, but we're still looking. Some people are for it, some people are against it, they're liking it, some aren't. Mercedes Martinez now attacking NXT's Tony Khan and Robert Stone ringside post-match. And now he pulls out some money. He's going to pay her money. Like, what the hell? Did she just work the corner for him or what? Now she goes over to Vic Joseph. Yells at him. And Mercedes Martinez says, "Congratulations, champ, but I'm coming for you." So yeah, Mercedes Martinez going after Raquel Gonzalez's NXT Women's Championship, it looks like. All right. Still searching for a logo here. But it doesn't look like we're going to be finding one anytime soon. Now backstage with The Way. Johnny Gargano wearing a headband. Goo goo gaga, goo goo bananas. Johnny Gargano with the way by his side, being interviewed backstage on NXT. We'll have an 8-person mixed tag match later on. It'll be the way. Johnny Gargano is your NXT North American champion, with Austin Theory, Candice LeRae, and Indy Hartwell taking on the women's tag team champions, Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart, as they'll team with Bronson Reed and Dexter Lumis. It seems like Bronson and Dexter are your, because Bronson already faced Johnny last week at TakeOver, that those two are going to be the, and everybody else in that Gauntlet Eliminator and Battle Royal, for God's sakes. As we'll have the grudge match with Leon Ruff and Isaiah Swerve Scott tonight too. The contenders for Gargano's NXT North American Championship. So Austin Theory goes the wrong way. They cut from the interview, but now Santos Escobar walking backstage, as it looks like. Up next on WWE NXT, be sure to use that hashtag when you share on social media. It'll be the Santos Escobar Cruiserweight Championship Open Challenge. So, another commercial break, and we'll return with a championship match. Who's going to answer the call? Only time's going to tell. We'll see, but it'll be Escobar versus an unknown opponent at this point in time, of course, for the Cruiserweight title when we come back. Still searching for this new NXT logo on social media.
Keep your car cleaner and longer. Armor All Extreme Shield Plus Ceramic. If you printed out directions to get here today, you're in the right place. My seminars are great.
Now, there's a closer zoomed in shot. There's actually 3 skulls on that head of whatever it is, and it's wrapped in, I wouldn't say vine, but that's what it looks like, I guess. Has anybody else seen the new NXT logo? If so, what are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments. It does actually look pretty sick. We're going to have to do some digging. It's going to take a while to find it. New picture of the new NXT logo. So yeah, it actually isn't that bad, honestly. I don't think it is, but you know, it's like I said, new era, new fresh start for NXT tonight. It's basically the same, but it's got more design behind it. So your typical black and yellow NXT logo with more vintage design, I'll say that, because that's what it looks like. More vintage, old school, like, not old school wrestling, not like, you know, no 80s or 90s wrestling logo would look like. How do I want to put it? Because I'm seeing it, as mentioned, for the first time here tonight, as everyone else is too, over the past hour or so now. But more, I'm trying to think of the right word to use for it. More, yeah, just more vintage, more Renaissance-y looking than I think it's ever looked before. So yeah, that's NXT. The new logo, at least. And it's, you know, more of a darker feel. like I said too. So we are NXT. Gonna come back from commercial break with Santos Escobar defending his newly won Cruiserweight Championship in an open challenge. Of course, he's been Cruiserweight Champion, but he was sort of the interim, in quotes, after Jordan Devlin couldn't get back to the States because of COVID. And now what do we got? Somebody in a music studio. In the lab. And this is Isaiah Swerve Scott. Isaiah Swerve Scott cutting a promo before he takes on Leon Ruff later on tonight. That'll be a grudge match, as they're calling it. So it looks like they're going to be starting not a new feud, but continuing what they've had going on as of late. Time for Swerve to move on, but he can't do that until he gets rid of, what's holding him down, Leon Ruff. So after tonight, maybe they, go their separate ways. Maybe they team them up, as far as we know. So if you are watching NXT, they just showed the new logo. As Santos Escobar now makes his entrance. But NXT's always been edgy. It's always had that dark feel to it. And it seems to me it's just not getting worse in that regard, but they're turning it up a notch, trying to make it, as better as they possibly can. Because it's fresh starts, new era. They're on Tuesday nights now, permanently moving forward beginning tonight, as we're about an hour into the show. So thank you for tuning in and watch my live reactions, play live right here on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed already, be sure to hit that red subscribe button with the notification bell next to it. As well, hopefully we tune back in tomorrow night as well for AEW Dynamite, on Friday for Friday Night SmackDown. So Santos Escobar, your new undisputed NXT Cruiserweight Champion. As mentioned, he was champion before, but holding the interim tag, if you will, holding down the fort until Devlin returned. He returned, and then they had the unification ladder match for these titles, and Escobar came out on top, and he's now holding his first open challenge as the new Cruiserweight Champion on NXT. Cut promo.
What was the sideshow became prime time, baby.
So, did he just take a dig at NXT? Which, that made no sense. Saying that, basically with him now as the new undisputed Cruiserweight Champion, the sideshow has turned into prime time. And with NXT's move, I don't know if they're saying NXT was a sideshow to AEW, and now they're in primetime by themselves. We'll see what the ratings are, because I'm sure that's all anybody's going to be worried about, but I care less. So as long as it's good pro wrestling, and as long as the booking is good, you're not going to have to worry about a damn thing. He's going to lay out an open challenge. Here comes Kushida. All right, put Kushida in cruiserweights. Kushida, hopefully for the win here in a matter of minutes. I doubt it. They'll have him lose again, knowing how shit's gone. But Kushida answering the open challenge. Maybe this is what they're going to do with Kushida and push him as a cruiserweight and have him be cruiserweight champion. I'd be fine with that. It's better than having him lose every goddamn week. He's got some new trunks on as well, so still Marty McFly Back to the Future look for his entrance, but some new trunks for Kushida, as it'll be Kushida challenging Santos Escobar in this open challenge for the Cruiserweight Championship. Kushida with a drop kick. Bell rings. Bell actually didn't even ring yet, excuse me. But a drop kick right off the bat, so match not even officially underway yet. But Escobar tells Legado del Fantasma, hey, it's all right, back off, I'm fine. They'll get involved. Kushida's probably going to get screwed and end up losing again. Now the ref calls for the bell. Bell rings, match underway after the drop kick from Kushida to send Santos Escobar ringside. Now they're back in the ring, off the ropes, nice arm drag. And takedown from Kushida. Takedown from Santos Escobar. Drop kick misses. Kick misses. Settle down. Quick roll up now. Arm bar. And then a rope break. This is for the Cruiserweight Championship. Because if they have Kushida win the Cruiserweight title, well, of course, Escobar's held it for as long as he has, and then he just won the Unification Ladder match. Become the new undisputed Cruiserweight champ. You take it off him, put it on Kushida. Like I said, I'd be all for that. And then, do you put and push Santos Escobar to Karrion Kross? Give Kross his first challenger? Because he's not going to have anything else to do because Legado del Fantasma, the other 2/3 of them at least, vying for the NXT Tag Team titles. I mean, there's some debate there, I suppose. There's some room to have a discussion to, hey, what are we doing here? So, split screen commercial. Kushida in full control, though, in the ring, working that left shoulder of Santos Escobar. And I'll take back everything I've said bad that NXT has done to Kushida if he wins Cruiserweight title tonight. If not, it's just going to be even worse because he's just going to continue to lose. But maybe, as mentioned, this is what they have had planned for him now for almost 2 years, for God's sakes. 2 years, way too long to finally put him in this position, but hey. At least the time's finally arrived. His time's now, I guess. If, big if, they have him win. But if not, then what the hell? So, a little actually surprised he's the open challenge answer for the Cruiserweight title for Santos Escobar's defense here on NXT right now, but I'm all for it. Because Kushida has to be one of the best, if not the best wrestler they have in NXT, but they haven't done a damn thing with him, other than have him lose. And now, okay, if they have him win the Cruiserweight title, like I said, I'd be all for it. But at the same time, they're going to have him lose once again. Like I said before, it seems like it's every other with the Japanese talent that they bring in, with Hideo Itami, of course, Kenta, Shinsuke Nakamura, and now, at least for the men at least, and now Kushida, it's every other that has success. Of course, Itami didn't work out because he couldn't stay healthy. Kenta gets released back in New Japan. Nakamura's, former NXT champion, up on the main roster, hasn't been booked right though ever since. And now Kushida, and he's been in the company 2 years, and they haven't done a damn thing with him hardly. Until, and maybe now, if they're going to have him get out of this losing streak and defeat Escobar to become Cruiserweight champion. And then that would also boost 205 Live, which, as far as I know, Tom Phillips is going to be the new voice of that. So, come on, Kushida, let's pick up the win here. Kushida winning would, I feel like, for a lot of fans, make up for how bad the Raw after Mania was last night, even though I did think it was a good average Raw. But once again, for the Raw after Mania, no, it wasn't that good, because they only had, just a few returns of the Viking Raiders, of course, War Machine and Charlotte Flair. And then McIntyre wins a triple threat main event match to win the #1 contendership once more, to challenge Bobby Lashley next month at WrestleMania Backlash. So for NXT with New Era, new fresh start beginning here this evening. They'll be on the next TakeOver, I'm sure, at some point in time, maybe tonight, probably next week or the week after. We'll learn when the next TakeOver is going to be, I would assume. Whether that's going to be a TV special or an actual TakeOver on the weekend or not, only time's going to tell. We'll see. But, after WrestleMania last year, they were in a TakeOver in your house early summertime. So I would assume it would have to be after WrestleMania Backlash, late May, early June, probably early June with Double or Nothing for AEW Memorial Day weekend. So, yeah, probably still looking first, second, probably the first weekend in June for the next TakeOver, I would say. And whether or not that's in your house or not, we'll see. But, future's bright for AEW, future's bright for NXT. There's that new NXT logo once more I'm still trying to find online. But hopeful for Kushida to win the NXT Cruiserweight Championship tonight now, as we're back from split screen commercial on WWE NXT Tuesday night this evening. It is Santos Escobar defending his Cruiserweight Championship against Kushida in this open challenge. A few kicks, a cover, 1, 2, and a kick out. Still to come, though, Leon Ruff and Isaiah Swerve Scott. Raquel Gonzalez, we'll hear from her as well. We'll also have the 8-person mixed tag match. And then, I believe that's it, if I'm not mistaken, with everything that's already happened. And then they added in Mercedes Martinez, picking up a win as well, and then calling out the new women's champion in Raquel Gonzalez. So it seems to me that's the direction they're going with there.
The heritage in his family, seeing his son will one day be a champion, much like himself and his father before him.
Escobar can take the next step in building his legacy tonight.
Off the top rope, Escobar throws off Kushida, cover, kick out at 2.
Speaking to the resilience of Kushida, Steven Kushida riding with him, but still able to have the
Because if they do have Kushida win this, it's a clean, fresh slate for him as well. And, he could become the face of the Cruiserweight division. Which, of course, you don't want him to be, because, he's better than that. Like, you feel bad for him, even though he finally won. So it's a win-win, lose-lose situation. But, it still is what it is. At least they're going to do something with him here, hopefully. We'll see. A few chops to the chest of Santos Escobar. Off the ropes goes Kushida, but a drop kick.
Kushida, no longer standing as the challenger. Champion now. Can he continue to string together the offense for another retention of his title?
And now Kushida up on the shoulders, trying to get out with a few elbows. Throws Escobar off the ropes. All right. Nice arm drag. And then a drop kick right to the face. Kushida with a big right hand. Kushida with the midsection, the ribs. Kushida gonna go for his finish here, it looks like, maybe a DDT first off. Into the corner, big slap to the face. Now off the top rope. Ooh, Escobar with a slap of his own. And then Kushida with a kick to the wrist. Escobar's holding on to the ropes. Kushida now gonna go off the top rope. They're gonna go vertical superplex. And now a DDT, or another suplex. That's a cover, 1, 2, And then Escobar gets his foot up on the rope, but I don't even think his shoulders were down, but they're still counting. But a rope break, and match will continue. Crowd getting into it with some slow claps here. They take an aerial shot out. WWE Performance Center, Capital Wrestling Center now. Kushida with a big mark on his left shoulder. Big scar. I don't know if that's new from this match or he's had that and I just noticed, but he's still working that left shoulder since Escobar. Pele kick on the reversal from Kushida. And now they're both down and out in the middle of the ring. Kushida with a big forearm. Now they're both on their knees. Boo, yay, going back and forth. Some double kicks that are, of course, canceling each other out. Kushida off the ropes, and then a code breaker from Sanchez Escobar to the back. Kushida almost breaking him in half. Kushida now on the shoulders of Escobar. Quick roll up for Kushida on Sanchez Escobar. 1, 2, and then another quick roll through. 1, 2. Back to Kushida in control. 1, 2, 3. Kushida wins the Cruiserweight Championship on NXT. Thank you. About fucking time. Jesus Christ. Kushida defeats Santos Escobar. Kushida is your new WWE Undisputed NXT Cruiserweight Champion. That deserves a yes, yes, yes to whatever yes means in Japanese. Kushida is your new Cruiserweight Champion. Defeats Escobar with a quick roll-up pin. And about damn time they finally do something with him. Feud replays now. Yeah, more of a, it was a backbreaker. And then up on the shoulders, quick roll up, 1, 2, Escobar rolls them through, 1, 2, and then on the third and final, Kushida rolls it up once more, 1, 2, 3, Kushida picks up the win and is your new Cruiserweight Champion. Now Escobar's livid, arguing with the official. But now, like I said a little bit ago, maybe they push him to cross for the NXT title. But Kushida celebrates with the smoke at the top of the entrance as your new NXT Cruiserweight Champion on NXT. Kushida chants now from the crowd. Thank you. About damn time. And he's electric in his celebration here, just rolling all over the place now. And now we go back to Ciampa and Thatcher. So Thatcher back on TV following his short hiatus with an injury. So with Ciampa and Thatcher, they're sort of together, but then they're sort of against each other, you know? And Ciampa just lost to Walter. Who's going to challenge Walter now? That's the big question. Maybe Balor. We'll see if, you know, he's going to be on NXT tonight or not within the next hour or so. Or if they're going to hold off and have him return to the main roster at some point in time in the near future here. But, you know, Ciampa still wants to get Goldie back. And with Ciampa and Thatcher, you know, as mentioned, still together, but sort of against one another at the same time, it's like they can go either way. And, you know, it seems like they're going to keep them together for the time being. They're going to finish what they start. And they're going to go after MSK for the NXT Tag Team titles. As Ciampa gets up and runs off, and then Thatcher just continues to sit there and smiles at the camera. Now we got Raquel Gonzalez walking backstage. She'll be up next on NXT. We'll hear from the new NXT Women's Champion when we return from commercial break.
Here's how
Raquel Gonzalez defeated Io Shirai. Dakota Kai by her side, though, so potential turn there. As mentioned last week, too, Dakota Kai has an old former tag team partner of hers as well that very well could make a return at some point in time, too. So I'll digress there. We'll see what happens. But it seems like Mercedes Martinez wants to be the first to go after Raquel Gonzalez, so maybe she attacks after about a half hour or so ago now, since picking up the win against the Robert Stone brand tonight on NXT. So very happy and excited for Kushida. I mean, with what I said, I mean, about damn time. There's not really much else to be said other than they need to have him hold that title for a very, very long time, longer than what Walter is currently right now as the NXT UK champion. However, of course, we all know that's not going to happen. They'll have him feud with, I mean, maybe Isaiah Swerve Scott, because, you know, of what he had said earlier, before, of course, his grudge match with Leon Ruff still to come here tonight, that he wants to move on, but, you know, until he gets rid of Leon Ruff, he can't really go anywhere because he's still being held down by him. That maybe Kushida's got a challenger there. Whoever it's going to be, I mean, I could really care less. I'm just happy Kushida's champion right now, and they need to have him continue to win now, just like he was on a losing streak, start a winning streak, and beat everybody that's going to challenge for that Cruiserweight Championship. And like I said, the Cruiserweight title really hasn't been anything special up until the past year when, you know, Jordan Devlin became champion. Maybe Devlin, you know, is an answer to Walter as well, that, you know, once Devlin got it, and then Escobar had it as well up until just now. The past year, the Cruiserweight division, or the Cruiserweight Championship at least, has been better than what it had been. But still, 205 Live really, you know, isn't that exciting to watch. But now maybe with Kushida, and I know it will be, with him as your champion, it'll, you know, skyrocket that technical fourth brand for the WWE, if you will, you know, behind Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, even though they're all, you know, by themselves, all by their lonesome, you know, for, you know, the 2-3 hours that they're on each week, because the storylines, the feuds, the booking that they have, it's all different, you know, because, you know, each brand is itself. You know, you don't have to always copycat and try to do whatever somebody else is trying to do. Like, we'll see what happens, but the Cruiserweight division, the 205 Live show, that Cruiserweight title is now even going to be, you know, even bigger and better. I think I might even have to get a Cruiserweight title now, just for the hell of it, with Kushida picking up the win, but I don't have anywhere to put it behind me. So now we're backstage with Kushida. Kushida getting his tape ripped off. He gets congratulated by William Regal, of course, the NXT general manager. And now we got Jordan Devlin walking up. Jordan Devlin going to get a rematch against Kushida, maybe. 6-time IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion, in which Kushida was. And Kushida's the man.
You know, who do you ever beat, right? I mean, just because you run up a ladder quicker than someone doesn't make you a better wrestler. You know what I'm saying? Now, see, I'm the man around here.
Jordan Devlin says he's the man, and he wants that title back.
And what you are, Kushida, very lucky man.
Kushida's a very lucky man.
All the gods are smiling down on you. Because I'm not home now for a little while. So I'll be back. Oh, yeah. This is like Jay, right?
When Jordan Devlin comes back, it's going to be for the Cruiserweight title, because it seems like he's going back across the pond. Kushida says anytime to Regal, so hey, whenever Jordan Devlin or whoever wants a shot at this title, anytime, anywhere, I'm defending it. Now Dakota Kai going to introduce the new NXT Women's Champion, Raquel Gonzalez. I'm not going to be shocked if she turns on her and they start a feud there, but we'll see. Hashtag WWE, hashtag WWE NXT when you share on social media. But here comes the new NXT Women's Champion now, Raquel Gonzalez, who took off of Io Shirai, who, go back to, we were discussing Takeover in Your House last June. Io had held that title since then until just last week. And now if they're going to call her up, like I said, team her with Oscar, the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile. No, team her with Asuka, excuse me, and figure out and fix the women's tag team division up on the main roster. Because you had Asuka and Kairi Sane, Asuka and Io to fill the void, since Kairi, of course, is no longer in the company. So we're going to hear from Raquel Gonzalez. You deserve it, Chance. She really hasn't done a whole lot as of late. They've just put her in a good spot with sort of being the bodyguard, teaming with Dakota Kai. And then they put her up against Io because Dakota Kai couldn't get the job done. And Raquel then beats her. But now with, her as a new champion and Dakota out there and her pink purple hair, that she's sort of standing behind her, just staring her down. I don't know if we're going to get a potential attack or not, but I wouldn't mind it. I'm not going to be shocked by any means if it happens. But yeah, NXT Women's Champion that really nobody saw coming, because with all the NXT Women's talent that they have, they end up putting the title on her, for God's sakes. Like, without Dakota Kai, she wouldn't be anywhere. Yeah, no shit, because, you were by her side for how long? We dominated the best women's division. To an extent, I'd say yeah, maybe. Respect to Io. Maybe Io comes out. If she doesn't, and then if they keep her off NXT TV, you would have to think, at some point in time, she's probably going to get called up to the main roster. Now the lights go out. The lights have gone out on WWE NXT. Oh, Frankie Monet's coming out. This is Taya. And she's got Prince, the Pomeranian, in her arm. And they're going to put Taya in the championship picture right off the bat. Frankie Monet, of course, formerly known as Taya Valkyrie, making her NXT debut with dog in hand. Of course, she is the wife to John Morrison. She left Impact, has finally arrived now in the WWE. Wonder what the dog's thinking right now. Probably scared shitless out of his goddamn mind. She got some good entrance music, I'll give her that. Taya now going to cut her first promo on NXT.
Congratulations!
Congrats, champ. And then she gives us some French Canadian with it as well. I am Frankie Monet, The Miz, and John Morrison, both married to two French-Canadian blondes.
Has gotten a little bit shinier, a little bit bougier, and a whole lot better. And as you are at the top of my division,
Taya says this NXT Women's Division is
a
hers.
whole lot more of me.
You're going to see a whole lot more of me. Of course, yeah, she just debuted, so I'd hope so.
You're lucky I'm in a good mood tonight.
You're lucky I'm in a good mood tonight, says Raquel.
Because if you interrupt me like that again,
She goes to pet the dog, but
I'm gonna shove him straight up your culo.
oh,
Okay, Cabrona.
we're getting
I will see you
a two-language promo with
single.
shit gonna get shoved where the
Champ.
sun don't shine. Or maybe even a little more frontal at that. And now this is my brutality. What the hell is Rhea Ripley doing on NXT? So Rhea's coming out to Raquel Gonzalez now after Frankie Monet just got done with her. Rhea, of course, just won the NXT, or is a former NXT UK and NXT Women's Champion, and just won the Raw Women's Championship at WrestleMania and in the rematch last night on Monday Night Raw against Asuka. So Rhea Ripley in NXT. What the hell is she doing here? Are they going to go cross-brand with the women's division now with the championships? Because Bianca Belair's, former NXT, of course. She just won the SmackDown Women's title too. They'll build Frankie up to challenge Raquel Gonzalez. But it seems to me Mercedes Martinez is still going to be first in line. Because she called her out. I mean, they both did, but... Now Rhea face-to-face with Raquel Gonzalez in the middle of the ring. And they smack titles, hug it out. Dakota Kai is still in the ring behind her. And now here comes Bianca Belair on NXT. So, alright. The Raw Women's Champion, the SmackDown Women's Champion, and the NXT Women's Champion all on NXT tonight. And they're all newly crowned champions from the past week. Pad News, Wade Barrett. How many A-listers can we fit in one ring? So the EST of WWE, even though she's in the set with shit, is now back on NXT as well. So we got Raw, SmackDown, NXT Women's Champions, all now in the ring on WWE NXT this evening. This is interesting. I don't know what they're going to do here. I sort of just called that. And they show a picture from the past with Rhea, Bianca, and Raquel Gonzalez when they didn't have titles. Now they're all in the ring as champions. They're all going to smack titles, hug it out, and stand tall with those titles in the air. Okay. So just a championship segment. NXT champs, of course, former and current NXT talent as champions. They hug it out. Where'd Dakota Kai go? Dakota Kai is now nowhere to be found. Is this just a fill time? It looks like that's the case, because we hit to head to the back with Pete Dunne cutting a promo, and then they bring up a graphic from Takeover Stand and Deliver from last week, Pete Dunne and Kushida, as Pete Dunne was the winner. So maybe Pete Dunne wants Kushida's Cruiserweight title now because Kushida just became champ. Or he might be heading back to NXT UK with Jordan Devlin and Walter. Maybe Finn Balor, but maybe Pete Dunne is next in line for Karrion Kross's NXT Championship though too. So another commercial break, and we'll come back to NXT momentarily. So once more, thank you for tuning in and watching.
To grab the DQ Chicken and Biscuits basket with 100% all-white meat chicken strips, golden fries, and 7 fluffy mini biscuits. But if you do want a reason, mini biscuits turn any meal into a mini celebration. Get it delivered at DQ.com.
At Pure Leaf, we crafted our new ice cream tea by saying no. No to artificial flavors and yes to antioxidant vitamin C, which means no compromise. Now what tastes good can actually do good too. Pure Leaf. No is beautiful.
Can't believe that Daniel dude got me on my insurance. Daniel, State Farm offers surprisingly great rates to everyone. Sure you do. You want to meet the queen? I'm not dressed for that. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
That lady T tried Popeye's chicken sandwich. Have you?
This chicken sandwich tastes like somebody's grandma Lucille fried it twice, prayed over it, then sent it up to God, and he swiped right.
You won't really get it until you get it. Try it now for $3.99.
Germ-proof your car with Farmer All Disinfectant. Kills 99.9% of bacteria and viruses.
The first ingredient in this Clif Bar is brown rice syrup, which is another name for sugar. In this kind bar, it's heart-healthy almonds with the taste of dark chocolate and 75% less sugar than the leading Clif Bar. Be kind to yourself. Hi, Dad. This is our maker's moment, and we make it remarkable.
Welcome to the Cheese Show. And when Cheese puts on a performance like this, you might get to the crust and think, it's over. But no. Let's hear it for the Encore Cheese. This isn't just stuffed crust. This is Papa John's crust. Done.
Congratulations, guys. 2 beautiful blades, but only one can be the Forge of Fire champion. Jay and I are going to take a closer look and then make a decision. These 2 blades are both pretty impressive. It's a shame we can only call one a winner. May I make a suggestion? With Dish, everyone can win. We call it refer a friend. When you refer a friend to Dish and that friend signs up, both you and the friend receive referral points. That can be used to get $100 in bill credits or 20 free movie rentals. You can also save your points towards even bigger rewards. Simply text RAF to 34741 to get started. I'm going to refer the whole team. And what's that code again? See? We can all be winners.
Refer a friend with Dish. Text RAF to 34741 from your mobile phone and you'll both get rewarded. And don't miss the History Channel original series Forged in Fire. All new episodes Wednesdays at 9 on the History Channel.
I've never gone this fast before. I can't believe what I'm experiencing now. How committed he is and why he's so good. Amongst the fire as this mom, this was my dream.
William Regal saying he's had top connections with Japanese wrestlers over the past few decades. Who did NXT sign now? Oh, that's right. She was ringside during TakeOver last week.
This lady is something very, very special. She's going to take it to another level. Sari has been past the porch by some of the biggest names in
Asuka, Kairi Sane, Io Shirai. Saray. Debuting next week on NXT. So they're changing her name up.
Mr. Regal, we just learned that Saray will make her debut to NXT next week. How exciting is this?
Now Regal backstage with an interview. I'm sure somebody's going to walk up to him. It's took a few years to get her to the States, but she's now in NXT.
Thank you so much.
He walks into his office. Actually, somebody's already sitting in his office. And it's Roderick Strong. And he's got a envelope. Is he turning in his papers? Is he walking away? He hands Regal the envelope. Regal says, "You sure?"
Can't say that there wasn't times that we're trying and dealing with you and you, but you're the ultimate professional and you're welcome back here in the next year anytime.
Roderick Strong's the ultimate professional, and he's welcome back in NXT at any point in time. So it seems like Roderick Strong is now done in NXT. Whether or not that means he's getting called to the main roster, going to Raw, SmackDown, whether he's done with the whole entire company as it is, as a whole, I don't know. We'll see. Of course, that'll get people talking. There's some speculation with it, I assume. So, next, Leon Ruff and Isaiah Swerve Scott. Billing this as a grudge match, but as mentioned, of course, it goes back to the Battle Royal and the Gauntlet Eliminator from the past few weeks on NXT and NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver, and then we saw the Swerve Scott promo from earlier as well. So we'll have this, and then seems like that 8-person mixed tag team match is going to be the main event. Bell rings, match underway. This will get between probably 8 and 10 minutes, I'd say, maybe a commercial break. And
73% of all chickens are fed in byproducts. This is really wrong. Why don't you head on down to the Purdue boys? No mystery ingredients, no animal byproducts, better chicken feed, great tasting chicken.
For asthma, there's Primatene Mist with symptoms striking. Your airways narrow and there's less breathing room. Primatene Mist is clinically shown to open airways quickly. Get the #1 FDA-approved.
there we go. We're back up and running live right here on YouTube. Sorry for any technical difficulties by any means with the buffering, the disconnect, and the reconnect. The reconnect part to it is taking way longer than usual, so that's the problem as it was last night and also now tonight. However, on WWE NXT, really didn't miss a whole lot. I mean, when the connection went out, as once again, sorry for any technical difficulties, but thank you for tuning in and watching my WWE NXT live reactions, play-by-play, live watch-along reaction, live right here on YouTube. Once more, be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. Thumbs up button. Share hashtag WWE, hashtag WWE NXT. Chat questions, comments, super chats, super stickers. Always greatly appreciate it. I don't know how much of this reaction stream is going to be cut down by when it, of course, is then officially uploaded right here on the channel once this live stream does in fact end. But, well, we'll get back to what we missed here in a second. But right now, we're coming back out of the commercial break with the main event to come next. We have Walter, of course, of Imperium, in a video package vignette here, as he defeated Tommaso Ciampa last week to take over Stand Deliver and is still your NXT UK champion. So we'll see what the future holds for him, and who's going to challenge the Ring General. Imperium is here to stay. All of NXT will understand. It seems like Imperium's going to be on both NXT and NXT UK. So we're going to get to see more Walter in the near future, it looks like. But yes, as mentioned with the connection issues, well, now we got Leon Ruff attacking Isaiah Swerve Scott backstage in the locker room, and then driving one of those moving crates into him. It went out right as this match got underway, and it was actually a damn good match, I thought. But Isaiah Swerve Scott with the win. So, of course, what he said earlier, he wants to move on now, but Leon Ruff, of course, from that right then and there, seems to me he has other plans, and he will continue fighting Isaiah Swerve Scott moving forward. So it'll be Swerve Scott and Leon Ruff on NXT, but now the main event. We actually also did have a Zoe Stark interview backstage, and then she was interrupted by Mercedes Martinez, so it seems like we'll have a match with those two, as they've both stated this evening that they want to challenge Raquel Gonzalez for the NXT Women's Championship. So we'll see where they go there. But right now, the main event, an 8-person mixed tag team match. It'll be Bronson Reed and Dexter Lumis with the WWE NXT Women's Tag Team Champions, Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart, take on The Way with Johnny Gargano and Austin Theory, Candice LeRae, and Indy Hartwell. So a few champions in this match. Of course, this involves the NXT North American Championship and the NXT Women's Tag Team Championships as well. But this will be the main event of the evening, the main event for the first NXT Tuesday this evening, now on a permanent basis. They've been on NXT on Tuesdays before. They've been on NXT Wednesdays before, of course. They've been on NXT Thursdays before. But now, probably moving from Wednesdays to Tuesday nights. So first main event as history is being made once again. So Reed, Lumis, and the tag champs in the ring. Here comes The Way. And we're back to full strength with the live stream this evening with the connection. But hopefully, knock on wood, this will never happen again. But we all know it will, because it's happened how many times in the past. It is what it is. It's technology. It sucks, or it's good, but it also sucks when you need to be good, I should say, as I always say. So, it is what it is. There's nothing really anybody can do about it. It goes out, But the problem right now is just taking longer to reconnect for some of the. I don't know why, but we're still up and running live the same reaction stream as it was from earlier. But as mentioned, don't know how much is going to get deducted, time-wise at least, from it being out for as long as it was. Last night was about 10 minutes or so. I'd say roughly around the same, just, within the past few minutes. But of course, you don't want it to happen, but it does. So, it is what it is. There's nothing really anybody can do about it. Because, it's good, but it also sucks when it needs to be good. It goes out when it shouldn't, because if everything else is working perfectly fine, but then it goes out, well, then why the hell did it go out? Because if everything else is working perfectly fine, it should be working fine as well. But then, at the same time, too, when everything's out, well, you're up shit creek without a paddle. And it seemed to me that the latter part of that was the case tonight, with at least the reconnecting part to it. So, the buffering, disconnect, reconnect, all I have to do is hit reconnect, but then last night, now tonight, it's taking a little longer to reconnect. So, that's where we stand. Bell rings, match underway. Thank you for continued support and tuning in and watching. But main event with The Way and Bronson Reed, Dexter Lumis, and the Women's Tag Team Champions. Austin Theory was going to tag in Indy Hartwell, but tagged in Candice LeRae instead. And then, of course, it can't be man versus woman or woman versus man. It has to be man versus man, woman versus woman. So then Ember Moon comes in. She tags in Shotzi Blackheart. So Now it's Shotzi Blackheart with her green hair taking on Kim Ray and her light purple hair. Now here comes Gargano grabbing his wife, throwing her out of the ring. Gargano with that new headband looks completely different. And then a double takedown from Ember and Shotzi to Gargano, and then they tag in Dexter Lumis. So now it's Dexter Lumis and Johnny Gargano as he comes in, stands behind him. A couple big right hands now. Off the ropes they go. NXT does have about, as mentioned, 5-minute overrun or so this evening. So we'll see if they have something big planned to end the show or not. But once more, sorry for any technical difficulties, but thanks for tuning in and watching. Now, Lumis and Indy Hartwell staring each other down, but then Candice pulls her off the ring apron as it looked like they were going to make out, but then Gargano from behind in the ring taken out and driving some kicks to Lumis in the corner, and then we take the final commercial break now of the evening, a split screen. So, 8-person mixed tag team main event match continues in the top left-hand corner as Gargano mixed tag. Here comes Austin Theory. It'll be Theory and Lumis.
Same with my boat. The insurance bills are through the roof.
Be cool. I wish I could group my insurance stuff.
As they go corner to corner.
Cluster. Insurance cluster.
I doubt that exists.
The bundle! It's the bundle and safety money!
Supertown Beach Day, everybody.
Are you ready to join the doers? Those who do
Nice vertical suplex there from Austin Theory. Dexter Lumis, he goes over showboat in front of Bronson Reed. Big stomp to the chest of Lumis before a cover and a kick out at 2. Big dog all over the place tonight, coming in and out of these NXT live reactions. NXT's actually been pretty good tonight. Been pretty good, I've thought. I mean, with how Raw was last night, I mean, actually, I mean, probably about in the same boat. I mean, maybe a little bit better. I'm definitely not going to say worse, but that's the thing with a 3-hour show compared to a 2-hour show. That last hour, or the hour from 9 to 10 in between, sometimes just drags. And then, especially if it's the middle hour, that drags. Well, the third hour is definitely going to drag. So, yeah, NXT, with its first ever, now on a permanent basis at least, they've, as mentioned, been on Thursdays, Wednesdays, now Tuesdays before. Not putting on a bad show. NXT's been, pretty good tonight, pretty enjoyable. Especially with Kushida winning the Cruiserweight title, as mentioned. But they're on the road to their next takeover, so they're building towards that, which I get, I understand. Bronson Reed now legal against Austin Theory as we come back from commercial break. Big shoulder tackle. Gargano now in. Bronson Reed takes him down and out as well. But yeah, NXT tonight definitely not worse than Raw last night, but I'd say, I mean, in the same boat. I mean, if it was or is a little bit better than Raw last night, depending on who you ask, okay, it's better, but not by much. I'll say that. Double Samoan drop to both Gargano and Austin Theory, cover on Theory, kick out at, actually a breakup at 2 from Candice and Indy. And then the women's tag champs come in and attack them. And then a nice power slam there from Indy Hartwell to Ember Moon.
And powerful offense at Hartwell.
And then a DDT from Shotzi. And then a super kick from Candice. So now we're all over the place. Candice and Taya, Candice and Frankie Monet would be a good singles match. Crossbody from Candice off top rope to Bronson Reed, but he doesn't move an inch. Candice hurt herself more than did Bronson, but then Theory comes in for a drop kick, and then now here comes Dexter Lumis with a nice big spine buster in the middle of the ring. He's not legal though. Gargano going to pull him ringside. And then a suicide dive from Ember Moon to Johnny Gargano into the barricade. I don't even know who the hell's legal. Candace going to go for a suicide dive as well, taking out Dexter with then a DDT after she caught him, or he caught her, and then she hit a DDT on him ringside. And then Bronson with a big punch to Theory on the ring apron. Shotzi and Bronson. Bronson's going to pick her up, throw her to take out the Way and Ember Moon ringside. So actually taking out everyone. There's Dexter Lumis as well. This is awesome chance. Yeah, Kansas' DDT there to Dexter off the suicide dive was pretty good. You don't see the intergender, wrestling that often, especially in the WWE, regardless if it's a mixed tag team match or not. Gargano super kick to Bronson Reed. Was going to go for another super kick to Dexter, and then Dexter power slams him. Now has him in a headlock. Going to try to get him to submit, and then Indy Hartwell from behind. She's thinking about kicking Dexter, and then Indy Hartwell is turning on the Way here. And Dexter's just going to pin her. Because she acted like she kicked him, but then she didn't, and then now she's just laying there. He grabs her arm. He's going to pick her up. What's she going to... They going to make out like they were? Here comes Theory with a kick. Or was she going to roll him up maybe? Well, actually, just a tease, of course. A little bit of distraction, but it didn't work out, and now she's mad. So Indy going to throw Theory over the top rope. So it's going to be Indy Hartwell turning on the Way. And then she lays back down on the ring apron, acting as if she just got knocked out. And yeah, she must have something for Dexter Lumis. Yes chants from the crowd. Are they together in a relationship like in real life, or is there anything there with those two, or this is what they're going to play out now? Lumis is actually just going to pick her up and carry her out. And then she looks back to the camera, smiles, and gives a thumbs up. So Indy Hartwell now teamed with Dexter Lumis. And they walk up the ramp and walk back through the entrance, and they're gone. Lumis and Indy Hartwell are now out of this match. Bronson just cold cock Theory, good one. Bronson wants Ember to go up top, hit the Eclipse. Actually, Ember off the shoulders of Bronson Reed hits that Eclipse. But then here comes Candice LeRae from behind, throws her out of the ring. And then Bronson Reed now off the top rope. Gargano comes in from behind, though, to knock him down. So now it's a 6-person mixed tag match because Lumis and Indy Hartwell are gone. And then Bronson Reed throws Johnny Gargano on top of Austin Theory. Candice LeRae going to go up top. Don't tell me she's going to suplex Bronson Reed off the top rope. She weighs a quarter of what he weighs. Here comes Shotzi, though, from behind. Candice now up on the shoulders of Shotzi. And then Shotzi throws Candice on top of Theory. This is actually a good finish. Bronson Reed now off the top rope. Frog splash to Austin Theory. Cover 1, 2, 3. Bronson Reed and the women's tag team champions, Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart, pick up the win. Dexter Lumis was in this match at the start, but walked out with Indy Hartwell just a moment ago. So the 8-person mixed tag match turned to a 6-person mixed tag match. So Bronson, Dexter, and the women's tag team champions pick up the win over the way here in the main event of WWE NXT. So it still seems as if Bronson Reed is still the #1 contender, even though he lost to Gargano last week for that NXT North America Championship. Dexter Lumis in the mix as well, as mentioned with everybody that was in that Battle Royal and the Gauntlet match. So NXT starting a new era this evening. Very, very good NXT, I thought, tonight. Some replays of the finish with tonight's main event with Bronson Reed, Dexter Lumis, even though he walked out with Indy before the finish. And the women's tag team champions Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart pick up the win over the way. And Johnny Gargano cancels the race. Austin Theory and Indy Hartwell. So Indy turns on the way, basically, in the end, when this is all said and done. Kyle O'Reilly going to be on NXT next week for the first time since TakeOver Stand and Deliver last week, of course. Another replay with the finish. So Kyle O'Reilly, for the time being, going to be staying in NXT, it looks like. Adam Cole, though, I don't know. We'll see. And they stand tall, victorious. NXT chants. Gargano, Theory, and Candice just stumbling all over the place at the entrance. Closing credits. And this will do it for WWE NXT this evening as they fade to black and end their first night on a now new permanent basis on Tuesday nights on the USA Network. So thank you for tuning in and watching my live reactions play-by-play of WWE NXT this evening, live right here on YouTube. Always greatly appreciated. Be sure, as always, to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. Hopefully you'll tune back in tomorrow night and on Friday as well for more live watch-along reactions live right here on the channel with AEW Dynamite and WWE Friday Night SmackDown, as we're coming off of NXT TakeOver, Stand and Deliver, and WrestleMania 37. I'll leave you with this. Kushida is finally a champion in the WWE. He is your new WWE NXT Cruiserweight Champion after defeating Santos Escobar in the Open Challenge earlier this evening. So thank God, it's about damn time. Thank you. Kushida is your new Cruiserweight Champion, and thank you for tuning in and watching my live reactions play of WWE NXT this evening, live right here on YouTube. Hopefully I'll see everybody now tomorrow night for live reactions play, live watch-along reaction stream of All Elite Wrestling AEW Dynamite.